Hello my little lovelies, excuse the chaotic situation with the cushions behind. It's been really hot. So whenever I sit on here I get like, I want comfort, so I have the cushions, and then I get flustered because I'm too warm, so I just chuck them and then I don't sort them out. So this is just the living situation at the moment. I don't actually have a place where I can gather all the cushions and like chuck them in a basket or anything like that. This is just where they live, so I really should have sorted it out, but now I've drawn your attention to it, it's probably more of a big deal than it really is. Anyway, I digress. Today I am here to do part 1 of, I think, potentially 2 videos. A book haul. This is my stepping into summer book haul, and I've got some lovely goodies to share. So this first video is all the books that I got in the works, actually like a few months ago I think. So it's not really summer, but you know, it's summertime now, so that's what it's going to be. And I think I'm also going to quickly whiz through, just showing you the covers and the titles of a couple of books that I've borrowed from the library. I have a more in-depth haul for that over on my TikTok, which is Hailstorm's Spammer Jam, if you're interested in following or giving the video a like. But yes, let's start off with those books. The second part is going to be my vintage books and Asda's books, and I'm probably just going to lump them together. So let's get on and start with the 4 books I have here from the library. I did have a 5th one that's gone back. If you want to see what that was, check out the TikTok. So first one here just on the pile, Jennifer Killick's The Crater Lake, which is about a year 6 trip who goes on their summer camp, and there's a spooky summer scary murder mystery going on and you mustn't fall asleep. Of the Wild Magic trilogy, I accidentally picked up the 3rd one instead of the 2nd one. This is by Celine Kiernan, and the first book is Begone the Raggedy Witches. The 3rd one is The Promise Witch, and it is about Mupp, whose dad goes missing. They have to traverse with her mum, her brother and her dog into the forest to go and find him, but she realizes that her mum is very different on this side of the forest, so there's that whole mystery there as well. These 4 are all middle grade books I was shelving. I've got a new job. I think I've mentioned it on this channel briefly. I can't remember where I've mentioned it, here, there and everywhere. I work at the library now, so yeah, I was shelving in the children's fiction section and these just jumped out to me. And then the last one for this section is The Monsters of Rookhaven by Padraig Kenny. Is about Mirabella, who is always known that she is a monster. She has a magical glamour that protects her family, her unusual family, from the outside world. The tale between 2 worlds has let danger in, and as evil stalks Mirabella and her family, it quickly becomes clear that the true monsters aren't necessarily the ones you can see. I wonder if it's going to go into like mental health or like the duality and cruelty of human. That's kind of what I'm getting from it, as well as general magic vibes, so we'll have to see what kind of direction that takes. So on to the books that I got from the works. The first one here, I believe it's a new release. This is The North Wind by Alexandria Warwick, and it is described to be a new romantasy akin to Beauty and the Beast and the story of Hades and Persephone, which just enchants me. I love both of those things, so it seems really cool that it's woven together. I guess there is quite a lot of parallel between the 2 stories, so I'm intrigued to see where this one goes. Just briefly as well, it kind of reminds me of the Bearing the Nightingale trilogy of books by Catherine Arden. We're following Wren, who is just her sole carer for her sister. She just looks after her. It's just them 2 in the world alone after their parents, I think, passed away. The village that they live in is encased in like a vault of ice, and that's kind of like their protection, for what I understand. However, the magic that is keeping that all secure is slowly getting weaker and weaker, and only the blood of the bride of the North Wind can boost that strength and secure, you know, security and prosperity again for the village. Unfortunately, the North Wind is a ageless god, said to be quite cold, understandably cruel, and just not someone you really want to be around. And he has his eyes set on Wren's, I believe, younger sister. It's up to Wren to protect her sister at all costs, even if that means sacrificing herself. So I'm looking forward to this. It's probably going to be like enemies to lovers in terms of the romance here, but I'm excited to see what becomes of it. I also picked up the Never After series. This is the international edition. This is by Emily McIntyre, and I see everybody on TikTok fall head over heels for this series. It is I think it's dark romance categorized, and it is a retelling of the Peter Pan story. I don't know if they're all about Peter Pan or if they all take on different like fairy tales, and imagines the famous villains in each story and gives them a delicious, apparently, happily ever after. So we have Hooked, Scarred, Wretched, Twisted and Crossed, and I'm so excited to get into this. I just see everybody absolutely adoring it. So yes, villains and happy ever afters and romance, and this sounds like I could quite love it. So I got a good box set for this, and it was only 20 quid, which was a huge savings, as it says there. Another box set, this one is a middle grade series. This is the House at the End of Magic series by Amy Sparks. This is not the first book. I don't know what the first book is. I think the House at the Edge of Magic is the first one, and it's like tucked in the middle. Oh, it says on the back. Then we have the Tower at the End of Time and the Bookshop at the Back of Beyond, and it just looks so magical. I think it might have portal magic, you know, with the house, and they go in and it's a magic and it's different, but I don't actually know, other than that, which is my assumptions, anything else about it. I don't want to take it out until I'm ready to read it, but it is so cute. They're very short books, so I think I could back to back read them. I do enjoy children's fiction, fantasy, especially if there is an element of either witches or portal magic. That is like my buzzwords, so really intrigued by this. It looks so cute. Here I also got some freebies. Is a selection of bookmarks, so I've got a bookmark and a pin because I picked up the new book by Emily Henry. So I have these here, and then the bookmark here, and then a funny story pin. Love at First Night bookmark with a quote from the back, and I think this, I don't know if that goes together. I think it might do. This is always a reader, always a romantic. It might also just be a generic quote. And I also got the Light That Binds Us bookmark as well, with some gorgeous character art on the back. Emily Henry's new book, here it is. This is a funny story, and I'm actually, as I'm filming this, I'm going to a book club tonight with my friend. I'm just tagging along they were reading this month You and Me on Vacation, and I'd already read that, so my friend was like, oh, you've been wanting to come for a while, why don't you come along, because I've never been able to squeeze the book in, or it's been a book that I'm not really interested in at that time, or so on and so forth. So this is a book I'd actually read prior to this, so yeah, I'm tagging on just to listen to everyone's thoughts. I don't really remember a whole deal, but I think once they start talking I'll probably remember, because I didn't reread it for the book club. I'm just going to sit and listen and vibe. But anyway, besides the point, Funny Story by Emily Henry is her new release, and it's one that, oh, it also has another bookmark in it. Cool. It's one that I actually don't know what it's about, but we're following Daphne, who has always loved the way Peter told their story. So they're already together in this. Okay, the other books that I've read by her, they've not been together yet, so this is interesting. That is until it became the prologue to his actual love story with his childhood bestie Petra, which is how Daphne ends up rooming with a total opposite and the only person who could possibly understand her predicament, Petra's ex, Miles. Oh, as expected, it's not a match made in heaven. That is until one night, while tossing back tequilas, they form a plan, and it involves posting deliberately misleading photos of their adventures together. Well, who could blame them? Oh, it's like Marriage of Convenience kind of vibes. But it's all just for show, of course, because there's no way Daphne could actually start her new chapter by falling in love with her ex-fiance's new fiance's ex, right? That sounds fantastic. It's also a gorgeous orange underneath with a blue font, and I just love it. It makes sense now. Funny story, right? I love it. And he's probably started, the ex-fiance's probably started the story by going, oh, we met this way, it's a funny story, but now it's actually a funny story. Anyway, ignore me. That sounds so much fun. Loving that. I also picked up the latest book in the Crescent City series by Sarah J Maas, this is House of Flame and Shadow. I haven't read any of the Crescent City books yet, so I do not want to read the back of this because I do not want to be spoiled. Okay, we're on to the last 4 books of this haul now. I have Rick Riordan's book with Mark Shiro, which is interesting because this is his characters, his world, and it's following Nico D'Angelo and Will Solace and their romance and quest together, which I'm really excited to get to. I absolutely shipped them. I loved them when I was reading the Percy Jackson books when I was like growing up as they were coming out, but I haven't picked up any of his books in what seems like a while to actually read. Like, I've bought the new Percy Jackson one, I haven't yet read it, and I had a sampler, like a chapter sampler from this when I got some books in Waterstones a while ago, but I still haven't read it. So this is The Sun and the Star, a Nico D'Angelo adventure, so it makes me hope that there's going to be more in this series, and then maybe they're going to be a duo. I do wonder why he's written it with someone else, so that'll be interesting because obviously they're his original characters, so I wonder how it's going to feel. Like, is the tone going to be different? I'm intrigued. It's a new era, I see, for the Percy Jackson universe. I also have Filthy Rich Vampire by Geneva Lee. This is, again, something I've just been wanting, some like vampire smut, and I think this might be it. I'm not really one for billionaire romances or anything like that, so the Filthy Rich didn't really intrigue me, but the vampire and the other stuff did. So we are following Julian Rose, who has a problem. He's single, and for the world's wealthiest vampires, the social season is about to begin. Julian would rather stake himself than participate in the marriage market, but as the eldest, most eligible Rose, I'm definitely pronouncing that wrong, he's expected to find a wife before the season ends, whether he likes it or not. When cellist Thea literally stumbles into his life at a gala, he knows she's the last person he could ever fall in love with. She's too innocent, too kind, and way too human. But now that she knows about his world, she's also a walking target. She needs protection. He needs a fake girlfriend to discourage overzealous vampire matchmaking. Julian makes Thea an irresistible offer. Pretend to be his lover and he'll change her life. For 1 year, they'll attend the season's social events together in exchange for his protection and a way out of her mother's crippling medical debt. But with each moment they share, new dangers emerge, a desire as forbidden as their stolen touches, an awakening of a long dead heart, and secrets that could tear them both apart. It sounds delicious, honestly. I think I could really love this and just absolutely eat it up. So we shall see. I hope I love this. Last 2 books now. Again, another one is a sequel. I haven't read the first one, so I shall not be talking about what it's about because I don't want to spoil myself for what happens in the sequel, but it is Dark Academia in tone, and this is Hellbent by Leigh Bardugo. And lastly, I'm in an ermine whether to get this one because I couldn't remember if I already had a copy, which is awful, but I decided let me just get it anyway. I could always sell it on or gift it to a friend or whatever if I do have it, but I'm pretty sure, looking at my shelves briefly, I don't think I've had it. I've definitely not read it anyway. This is Belladonna by Adeline Grace, and I want to say that it has a sequel, or this is the sequel. I really can't remember. I think the second one might have recently come out, or it looks similar but a different series. I'm not sure. I'm making stuff up. I'm spitballing right now. But anyway, Your Name Is No Curse, Little Bird. I just like the taste of it. Oh, another romantasy, I believe. Orphaned as a child, Signa Farrow has been raised by a string of guardians, each more interested in her wealth than her well-being. Each has met an untimely end. Is she killing them? Her only remaining relatives are the elusive Hawthorns. I think there's a sequel called Hawthorne. I think. An eccentric family living at Thorn Grove, an estate both glittering and gloomy. A restless spirit appears claiming she was poisoned. They see spirits. Signa realises the Hawthorns could be in grave danger and enlists the help of a surely stable boy to hunt down the killer. But Signa's best chance of discovering the murderer is an alliance with Death himself. And as the mystery unfurls, Signa realises their growing connection may be more irresistible than she dared imagine. This sounds so delicious. Oh, I've been using that word a lot. I read it once in like the quote for, was it the Hooked books, the Ever After books, and now I keep saying it. But yeah, it sounds delicious. I love that. So we've got a bit of dark romance, we've got some general romance, we've got some middle grade. Yeah, a nice variety of books. I am super excited to dive into. As always, let me know if you have read any of these books yourself, what you thought of them, what you'd suggest getting to first. I would love to know. Thank you so much for watching, and I shall catch you in another video soon. Bye.